And we are back with the fourth segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this fourth segment, I'm going to be talking about Kevin Durant and him not starting for the quarterfinals of the Olympics. This is something that Steve Kerr told reporters. Once again, he is showing us just how amazing he is at rotations and how fantastic he is at making starting lineups. I'm sure you guys already know my opinions on this idea and the fact that he is not in the starting lineup, but let's go over the article, let's review, let's get an understanding, let's figure out why Kevin Durant isn't on the starting lineup for the quarterfinals. Now, should be noted, Kevin Durant, he is arguably the best United States Olympic basketball player in the history of United States Olympic basketball. Period. The only player that has an argument for being just as good and just as great as Kevin Durant is for the United States is Carmelo Anthony. Now, I'm very, very nostalgic, and I am a huge fan of Carmelo Anthony. And I want to say that he is the best Olympic athlete, period. But Kevin Durant simply is just, his accolades and his achievements for the United States are just overall better than Carmelo Anthony's. I mean, Kevin Durant has more gold medals than Carmelo Anthony now. He also leads the United States in total points as well as total rebounds all time. So he is definitely the best scorer, like pure-blooded scorer for the Olympic team. And you could even argue that Carmelo Anthony is a better Olympic scorer than Kevin Durant. Like, it's really, really close. Like, I don't know if it's really close. I'm not sure if my bias is just getting in the way. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who do you think is a better Olympian, Carmelo Anthony or Kevin Durant? But I mean, obviously, my nostalgia is going to say Carmelo just because like he was a dog on the Olympics. Like, people really they forget about Olympics Melo. One of the things that a lot of people, they like to make fun of Melo. Oh, he doesn't win a championship. Oh, he's never won anything in the NBA. He has definitely won gold in the Olympics. Like, his Olympic career is nothing to scoff at. And that is the reason why he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Because of his Olympic career. Not so much his NBA career, his Olympic career. Because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. Not just for NBA players. It's for international players and Olympic athletes as well. But, a lot of people like to forget that. So, aside from, I could go on and on about how Melo is the best Olympian, but let's go ahead and look at this article talking about Kevin Durant being benched. Now, he was benched in all three of the group phase matchups, which I completely understand. Totally understand why. The matchups against these teams, they aren't that good. No need to risk Kevin Durant getting injured. These games, in the grand scheme of things, didn't really matter as much, right? Because, compared to the quarterfinals, they don't really matter. The group standings, compared to the quarterfinals. Now, I'm not saying that they don't matter. I'm just saying they don't matter as much. Especially when you have a team like the United States, where every single player can be in the starting lineup. Which is a problem that I have. That's the thought process. Yes, every player can be in the starting lineup. I don't agree with that thought process at all. Now, Steve Kerr, according to this article, told reporters that the team has found a good groove with Durant in the second unit, so he'll stick with it against Brazil in the quarterfinals on Tuesday. This, I do not agree with at all. Now, Steve Kerr also said, quote, "I think if Kevin Durant had been here from day one, chances are he would be starting," end quote. Kerr also told reporters, quote, "That was the plan coming in, but given that he missed all of our friendlies and came in late, we had kind of established a lineup that we liked, and when we brought him back, he was only going to play a certain amount of minutes against Serbia, and he played so well and he fit so well with that group," end quote. Now, I understand, you want to group everyone up, this, that, and the other. But I completely disagree with the fact that Kevin Durant is off the bench. I do not. I will not have it. I cannot stand it. These rotations coming in from Steve Kerr are the absolute worst. And I usually don't lose my cool like this unless I'm talking about, LeBron or something like that. But this is the very, very last straw. First, he doesn't want to bench Joel Embiid despite the fact that Joel is playing like absolute, I don't even want to say what he's playing like, but he is not playing like an MVP at all. And then he wants to, not play Jason Tatum, and then all of a sudden decide to play him, and then not play Joel Embiid, and it's just so confusing, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, he has no idea how to work the roster at all. I could do a better job being a coach than him. Now, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I am confused. Like, why? He is the all-time United States leading scorer. He is the all-time United States leading rebounder. And you have him off of the bench? Excuse me? Because of what? The fact that he wasn't there in the first friendly games? Guess what? He was there when he was winning 4 gold medals. Seniority? Have you ever heard of that? 0 cents. Makes 0 sense to me. I would have rather seen Kevin Durant in the starting lineup and bench Curry. Like, I would much rather see that. In fact, that should be the lineup that they go in with. Like, start Kevin Durant, bench Steph Curry. Steph Curry doesn't even play the point guard anyway. It's LeBron that plays point guard. Now, a lot of you guys, you're going to say, oh, but Steph Curry's listed as point guard. No. LeBron brings the ball up the court. LeBron 9 times out of 10 brings the ball up the court. He 9 times out of 10 creates the play for Steph. He is the point guard for the team. And it shows in the box scores. And besides, like, it's not like Steph Curry's even playing that well either. I don't agree with it at all. These are the games that really matter. These quarterfinals determine whether you make it or you lose it all. And in a winner-go-home league, you need the best players playing constantly. You need Kevin Durant out there constantly. And especially now, because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the Olympics, but Noah Lyles recently won the gold medal. If the United States basketball team does not win the gold medal, this is going to be embarrassing, not just for the United States, but for every single NBA player that was talking down on Noah Lyles for saying champion of what? That is going to be a huge, like, slap in the face to every single American, not just American, but NBA athlete, period. This is not, no. I refuse to believe it, and I'm going to say it in the mic so all of you guys can understand. No. Kevin Durant should not be on the bench. He should not. These lineups do not make any sense to me. And yes, he played well under the second unit. But he's going to play well with any unit because he can score. And aside from, like, playing with the bench, sure, could totally understand him playing with the bench. But you can easily make a rotation for him that allows him to play when the bench is coming in. Like, you have all of the starters in there. Like, whichever starting lineup you want to bring out, sure. The players that have to be on the starting lineup have to be LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Those are the only guarantees that I know should be in the starting lineup. And if it was me, like, if I was the one making this roster, I would have Anthony Davis starting. I would put Kevin Durant in there. I would put LeBron in there. I would also put, I could make an argument for putting Steph Curry in there. But given how he's been playing, I'd actually much rather have Jason Tatum in the lineup. And then you put LeBron at the 1, and then at the 2, you put Jrue Holiday. Now, the reason why I'm putting Jrue Holiday in there is because he has Olympic experience. He's also a very good perimeter defender, and he doesn't really need the ball in order to be a competent guard for Team USA. So you have LeBron at the 1, you have Jrue Holiday at the 2, then you have Jason Tatum at the 3, and then you have Kevin Durant at the 4, and Anthony Davis at the 5. And then, when the rotations have to come in, then you bring out the rest of the starters, aside from Kevin Durant, and then you put in Steph, then you put in Anthony Edwards, then you can arguably put in Devin Booker there if that tickles your fancy, then you put in Kevin Durant, and then you put who else did you put? Then you put Joel Embiid in the lineup. And TJ comes in the chat. He says, love to hear you're coming around on Drew being a starter. Well, given how Steph Curry's been playing, I would actually much rather have Drew in the starting lineup because of the defense, as well as the fact that he doesn't really need the ball in order to be, as dominant as you really need him to be. Again, that's just how I would construct the starting lineup, given how the Olympics have progressed and how I think, the quarterfinals and how I think it would work for the quarterfinals. That's just me, though. That's how I would structure the starting lineup. Again, I would love to have Steph Curry in the starting lineup, but just off of, how he's playing, I would rather not. But again, I would gladly put Steph Curry in that starting lineup and replace him with Drew. Then, go LeBron at the point guard, Steph at the shooting guard, Jason Tatum at the small forward. I wouldn't mind seeing that. It really doesn't matter who plays the point guard when LeBron is on the court, because LeBron is the point guard. And then again, once you normally want to sub in Drew Holiday, then you can sub in Derek White for the defense, things like that, whenever it's important. But again, Kevin Durant should be in that starting lineup. There is no reason why he shouldn't be in the starting lineup. I refute this. This is an awful line. It's an awful, immediately, just terrible. I can understand when in the games that didn't matter, in those exhibition games, totally understand him not playing. In these qualifying rounds, when I know that the United States is going to win, totally understand why he wouldn't play. But these games, no excuse. There is absolutely zero excuse why Team USA's leading scorer should be on the bench. Zero. Zip. Nada. I want to be the coach. Let me be the coach for the Olympics team, please. I could make a better starting lineup. I think I can make a better starting lineup. But then again, let me know in the comments what you guys think of Steve Kerr and his rotations. Do you think his rotations are a W? Do you think his rotations are an L and they need some work? Or are you in the middle and you think it really doesn't matter because the United States is going to win anyway? That's up to you guys. But aside from that, we are out of time for this segment. So now we will go ahead and go into the fifth and the final segment, where I go ahead and I give my predictions for who I think is going to qualify for what, who I think is going to win for what, and this, that, and the other, going into this next segment. And the games are happening on Tuesday, so I might as well go ahead and do a prediction on what I think is going to happen right after this short break. So be sure to stay tuned.